Hey guys, it's Brian. Welcome back to the Yugioh video. And so today we're going to be going over a ranked match, but before we go ahead and get into anything, please make sure you leave a like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel a lot. So with the release of Cyac yesterday officially being able to be played on Dueling Book Rated, I went ahead and hopped into a couple matches and I matched up against this Naturia Runick deck. And we had a very interesting game. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So here, as you can see, I'm going first. And my opening hand was pretty decent. I did open up, excuse me, I did open up Wagon, Parallel Exceed, Big Benkei, Gearbox, and Prodigy, which isn't the greatest hand, but it could be better and it could be worse. And my opponent opened up Smiting Storm, Naturia Blessing, Runick Destruction, Drone Lock, and Dark Ruler No More. The main card that is going to affect me in this is going to be the Droll. So I opened up with Prodigy. Go ahead and scale a Big Benkei. Grab the Soul Piercer. He draws me here. Go for Wagon. Link it off. And then go for Parallel Exceed. And here I'm just going to go ahead and try to go for Baguska, since I don't know what he's playing at this point. Here he goes for Dark Ruler. Going to try and set up. Summons out the Hugin effect. Go ahead and get out the Fountain. Activates Fountain, then activates Destruction to get rid of the Big Benkei. And as you can see, he hits the Wagon, Driver, Tunneler, and a Bike. So it's really not the best things to mill, since the fact that it kills a lot, not only Gamma, but it kills my Recursion. Goes for Mole Cricket. Summons out the Camellia. Camelia's gonna go ahead and after he special summons both Camellias, he's gonna send tree effect. Go ahead and search. Get another Blessing. Use them to go ahead and go into the Dugaris effect. Draw 2, discard 1. Discards the Smiting Storm again. Link them both away into the Furhire effect. Get rid of the Baguska. Use a tip to search out Freezing Curses. And banishes another piece of my necessary combo, which is the Soul Peacemaker. Uses Blessing. Blessing again to try and go for Nap Beast. Easy effect to bring back. And he has to skip his battle phase, so unfortunately for me, with the Naturia Beast, I can't activate any scales, so I have to figure something out at this point. So, since he does have Nap Beast, I can't scale, but I do have ways to work around this. So here I decide to go ahead and go for the Scarecrow. Decides to use Tip to to negate. Banish top 4, which now includes my Therion. So from here, it's rough, but it is still manageable at this point. Draws us 3 in this case. Go for Soul Piercer. And from here, he decides to go ahead and summon out another one of the Camellia. Use the effect, get the tree, get another mole cricket. Here I go for Stardust. Scale back the Prodigy, get the Soul Piercer Search, get the Bike. Here he decides to draw me, which is fine. Go ahead and just get over the Naturia Beast. Try to go ahead and scale over Prodigy. Summon out the Bike and make Baron. Goes ahead and uses the Camellia and the Cricket. Brings them both back out. Use the Baron to go ahead and pop the Fountain, since Fountain is the only one that I'm really worried about this point, because it not only replenishes his hand, but he can't activate spells from his hand at this point anymore. So he draws into another draw. Decides to go ahead and summon out the Sunflower. Here he decides to go ahead and synchro into his own Baron. Pops mine, negate, is gonna negate mine back. And just goes into battle. Oh, to skip this battle phase. So here I'm drawing pretty slim. So he decides to go in standby phase to bring back. Brings back the Camellia effect. Dump out another tree for search. I decided to just go ahead and Pendulum summon out the Spell Canceller. That way all his runic spells are pretty much forced to wait in his hand. He decides to go ahead and activate Camellia and bring another one back. I just decided to attack over the Sunflower. Use Big Bang K effect. And here he decides to Ash. I go ahead and use Scarecrow to go ahead and bring back the wagon. And I decided to pass from here. I didn't want to go ahead and just put myself in a more vulnerable state. I'd rather just make sure to have it there for follow-up and force him to try and get over it another way. That way he doesn't have a direct way of just trying to kill me. So here he tries to go ahead and activate, but I have to explain to him that he can't activate the destruction. He has to go ahead and put that back in hand. So here he goes for Exciton. Gets over the Spell Canceller. Uses Destruction to go ahead and Special Summon. Get the Fountain out. Doesn't really have much else going on for him. So he can't use Exciton since he has more cards in control than me, which is fine. I go ahead and use Big Benkei first, because if I don't use it, I'm going to lose it if I try to go ahead and use Wagon first. Here he goes ahead and uses Droll, fine by me. I'm going to go ahead and try and go into Sargus. Sargus attack into the Exciton, and then just make Zeus from there. Decides to go for Cricket, that's perfectly fine. I am saving the Zeus for trying to go ahead and just clear out any problems, and if he tries to negate it the first time, I still have a way of using it again. Here he goes for Fountain. I just immediately Zeus. I don't want him to recur anything off of that. Decides to go ahead and use Smiting Storm. Try and special summon out the Hugin. Hugin to go ahead and search. And you try to go for another Fountain. I just immediately Droll it. Using the Fountain and activate it with nothing to follow up. Draw into a Droll. Not really the best at this moment, but I just go ahead and change Zeus to attack and get over the Hugin. Either way, if he's going to use something, I can just chain the Zeus. And he's not really drawing much. He may have just run out of gas at this point. So he decides to go ahead and sets down the Cricket. Unfortunately for me, I did draw the Soul Piercer. So I decided to go ahead and just try and push for damage at this point. Use Zeus to go ahead and get rid of the board. If he has something, he has something. Summon out Soul Piercer, go for damage. Main phase 2, link them both away, go into Asa. And with Asa effect, because he does Ash the Soul Piercer, I just go ahead and take his Night Beast. Unfortunately for him, he drew the Flashing Fire, which means it's going to get negated. And I take game 1. Game 2 doesn't really go my way. As you can see, he drew Tip, Judgment, Fountain, Sacred Tree, and Runick Tip. He goes for Tip first. Goes for the Search. I could have Ashed, but I decided to hold against it. Gets rid of a Gamma. Goes for Fountain. Decides to go for Hugin here. I delay on holding off any responses at this point, just to try and go ahead and leave the Mourner for another card. I draw him immediately here, but it really didn't help much. It only stopped the tree. Immediately Ashed the Camellia. It's trying to stop him from getting even more advantage. And here he decides to set Judgment before passing. So I did draw into Peacemaker, but Peacemaker really wasn't going to help much. Try to use Prodigy. It's going to use a Tip to go ahead and search Destruction. Destruction effect. Act immediately on Prodigy. Gets rid of the Tunneler and the Spell Cancer, which are the 2 most notable cards out of the 4 he banished. Uses Fountain. draws 2 more, draws into another Judgment, and a tip. Go for scales. Try and immediately go ahead and simply pitch the Mourners, try and bring back the scales. Scales effect. Act is not existent at this point. Go for Peacemaker. Try and summon out from deck. Go for Wagon. Wagon effect to try and search. Go ahead and try and search the Peacemaker. I'm sorry, Soul Piercer. Equip. Try and link into Merrymaker. But he goes ahead and negates the summon. And from here, so going into game 3, I'm going first, which is definitely to my advantage in this matchup. And I was pretty prepared. I was very fortunate not only to draw the Retaliating Sea, but I did have a Ghost Ogre just in case I run into the Nat Beast again and I have an issue with it when I want to scale. So we just help clear the board. But the rest of my hand, Soul Piercer, Bike, and Prodigy, which is all pieces of the combo, so if he negated one, I still have access to the others. And he drew Destruction, Slumber, Sunflower, Cricket, and Blessing. So obviously I go for Bike to see if he has Droll. Act like I have Gamma. Activate Prodigy, Prodigy effect, get the Benkei. Summon both out the Piercer and equip the other Piercer to it. Because I want to go ahead and avoid activating Big Benkei first, because if he has Droll, then I would not be able to take advantage of the search and I would get 2 searches instead of 1. So use both souls, get the Peacemaker, get the Wagon, pitch the Wagon to go ahead and bring back the Piercer. I may have been a little bit greedy just to hold on the hand trap, but I could have pitched the Ghost Ogre in this case. Go for the Stardust Excel. Piercer, get another Wagon. Special summon back out the Bike. Use Benkei effect here because I do run the regular Stardust. So I can just go ahead and if he tries to nib me, I can just simply use the Stardust Excel effect and chain to go ahead and just synchro anyway. Get the armor. Sink away into the Baron. Use Peacemaker to go ahead and special summon out Scales effect to go ahead and special summon out the Soul Piercer. Use the armor to special summon itself. Go into Ballista. And from here, it's pretty much full combo at this point. I'm going to try and end on a Spell Canceller. So after Ballista and Soul Piercer finishes adding in all 3 cards, link them away into Genius. Pendulum summon the Tunneler, the Gearbox, the Bike, and the Wagon at this point. Chain block by putting Wagon in attack mode so it can change to defense. Use the effect to go ahead and search out another Soul Piercer. Change the Bike to go ahead and up his level by 2. Synchro into Sarutobi. That way if he activates Fountain, I just have a way of responding. Link away into Yugioh. Yugioh effect, special summon out the Spell Canceller. Use the Tunneler to go ahead and draw 2. Putting back all my 1-ofs. And a couple monsters in the extra deck. draw into the armor again, which I don't mind at all, since I do have Soul Piercer in hand. That way I do have a way of going into any link or exceeds on my following turn. But I did also draw Droll, so 2 hand traps with an Omnigate and 2 other forms of interruption is pretty strong, especially with one of them being a Floodgate in the form of Spell Canceller. And from here he decides to scoop. So, hope you guys enjoyed the match. Again, if you haven't already, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel a lot. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. See ya.